The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was born in 1452 and died in 1519. He was born in Vinci, Italy, and during his early life, he focused on the laws of sciences and nature, which later in life influenced his work. Today, people only recognize Leonardo da Vinci as an artist, but he was actually a genius of his time and was an inventor, scientist, philosopher, engineer, and also an early medical researcher. People of his time often described him to have an unquenchable curiosity and a feverishly inventive imagination, which is shown throughout his work. The patron of the Last Supper was Ludovico Sforza. He was the Duke of Milan, and the Last Supper was made for a monastery called Santa Maria del Grazie, which is located in Milan. The scene shows several closely connected moments within the Gospels. Being in a monastery, this would have been religious related because it is in a monastery, and that is what the patron would have wanted. When Leonardo da Vinci was in Milan, he worked with an anatomist, which is when you study the body, and that would relate to his work because he knew the anatomy of the body, and that shows because he knew how to paint a human in a lifelike way. Leonardo da Vinci's father apprenticed him to Andrea del Verrocchio, who was the leading artist of Florence in the early Renaissance. He had great concern of quality and execution of expressing vitality of the human figure. This contributed to Da Vinci's perfectionism, and it is important to the formation of his artistic style, which originated from using tradition, which Andrea del Verrocchio expressed so much. Since Leonardo da Vinci studied a lot about science and nature, he was able to express that through his paintings along with the human body. Visual and contextual evidence of the Last Supper. In the Last Supper, it shows Jesus and his 12 disciples gathered around a table during their Last Supper. The way they are positioned is very crucial to the painting because it shows them all spaced out in groups of 3, which represents the Holy Trinity. Christ is the emphasis of this piece, being the focal point and at the center of the table. All the disciples have their hands toward Jesus or looking towards Jesus in some way, except for Judas, which expresses that he is going to betray him, and it is known throughout this piece. Another famous piece by Leonardo da Vinci is the Mona Lisa. The similarities between the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper are the humanistic qualities. Humanistic qualities is something that Leonardo da Vinci was very good at, and it is shown here, and is also a key component in Renaissance. The lifelike qualities of both humans in both pieces shows his great technique and perfectionism that he learned and was known for. The actual components of this piece are quite different because Mona Lisa stands alone, whereas in the Last Supper it is a unity between Christ and his 12 disciples. The Last Supper is a story that most people know, and in the piece it clearly depicts that it is telling that story. Unlike the Mona Lisa, where it is still a mystery as to the purpose of this piece. The way she is the focal point is similar to that of Christ because they are both emphasized. Mona Lisa is also one of the first pieces where there is a background behind the focal point. And this naturistic, detailed background is representative of the studies of sciences of nature that Leonardo had a background in. Leonardo da Vinci has a great influence on the period. His perspective of things was different from others in that he had a background in sciences of nature, so he knew what nature looked like and how it was supposed to be portrayed. He also knew a lot about the human anatomy, which led to his lifelike and humanistic qualities. And humanistic qualities was a big thing in the Renaissance period. His perfectionism and detail is also shown throughout the period and is influenced by him because he took so much time and cared about so many of his pieces, and so did a lot of the other artists during this time.